we've invited associations from all throughout the cannabis industry to participate in this, where um, they will be hosting content and having meetings for any MJBizCon attendees to learn a bit more about what they're doing, what their initiatives are, and really have people get involved. So we're really excited about that, to have so many. I think right now, last time I looked, I think we had almost about 20 some partners that are working with us on this to continue to just give exposure to all of these great initiatives that these associations are spearheading for the cannabis industry.
Are most of them nonprofits?
Yes.
Wow. So I would imagine then that some would include like Women Grow or some of the big ones.
Mm-hmm.
Will they be in attendance?
They will. We will have a full list on our website, MJBizCon.com, but we have some really great partners in the industry. I think RII, the Research, NCIA, CTF, just to name a few, but we have a lot of great groups that are working with us this year.
That's fantastic. And full disclosure, the Cannabis Reporter will be a media partner. So I'm very excited about that. This is the first year that
Yes, we're
yeah, so that's exciting for us. I mean, we've been observers until now.
Well, yes, and we're equally excited, and just want to thank you for all of the support.
Oh, our pleasure, really. Our pleasure. I mean, we're just excited about it. And, it is such an important event and also publication. I mean, MJ Biz Daily has been a pioneer in the business side of the cannabis industry. And, it's definitely an incredible resource for us as we're doing research for our own content. And, for everybody who wants to learn about the industry, it really is just such a fantastic publication and something that anybody who's in the industry knows about it and uses it and reads it, voraciously, I'm sure. Yeah. So, and then, going back to like your background too, it seems as though a lot of people are making a move like you did, going from these conventional industries into cannabis. What would you tell people who want to do sort of the same thing? Maybe not with events, but just in general.
I think, I would say absolutely go for it. If you have an opportunity, it's been a really wonderful industry to be a part of. I think I've really enjoyed so many of the people that I've met in this industry so far. I think it's great to be working with something that, everyone is so united and has, it's a really great cause. And it's a really great time to also be in cannabis, to see the evolution of what's happening within, especially the United States. And so that's getting to be a part of such a fast growing industry as well. It's, as back to what we were talking about earlier, that the, closest thing you can compare it to is the .com boom. And to be a part of that and along for the ride is really something pretty fantastic.
I couldn't agree more. And I mean, it's very exciting, this industry. And also, I think it's very important. And I think it's going to change a lot of, in the geopolitical landscape as well. I think the cannabis industry is going to help solve a lot of problems, from criminal justice to medical issues, the opiate crisis, for example, and so many other aspects of life, sustainability, this addressing climate change with hemp. And so, yeah, I think you're right. It is very exciting. And I think that for businesses that, want to figure out how to maintain their competitive advantages, I think as this industry has evolved, it started out with a lot of mom and pops.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that as the industry became more normalized and as people lost their trepidation for getting into an industry that was deemed still federally prohibited, you're starting to see a lot more corporate interests come in and gain their own foothold in the industry. And it's starting to change a little bit. And I don't know if this is something you'd feel like you could speak to, but I'm just wondering your observations. Have you seen with, how do I want to position this? And let me mark my recording because I'm stumbling on this question. But I guess what I'm getting at is that, there's this risk that we face with this industry becoming too corporatized, if that makes sense,
Hmm.
or institutionalized. And, will it lose its, not the grassroots feel that it's had, but that very personal, passionate, compassionate edge that this industry has had up until now, until, it did become a lot more commercialized.
Hmm.
Do you have any observations about that?
Um, so I'll say, speaking just from the event side, I think, I hope it doesn't lose that special feel that the industry does have. I could see some good things though from, some more mainstream kind of corporate companies coming in, just in that it's going to help, our cause, and that it will help, mainstream or normalize, continue to normalize once that happens. So, I wouldn't say that it's going to be all bad when that happens. But at the same time, you're right. It's very, it has such that passionate and compassionate feel. And, so I hope for our sakes, working in this industry, I hope that we don't lose that.
Yeah, I always wonder about that. And because there was this feeling in the beginning of this industry that we're all in this together. We've got to fight here. We're pushing for something really good. And as it does become more commercialized, we've already seen some bad apples in the bunch who are not paying attention to their ingredients or not doing their homework. The vaping problem has been, a big thorn in the side of anybody who's pushing for full regulation and giving fodder for people who are against it to
Hmm.
say, hey, look, see, it's, the marijuana industry, marijuana is dangerous.
Hmm.
I've seen a few of those. And it makes me a little bit nervous, and I, I think it is important for people who are, really growing this, people responsible for growing it to kind of keep their eye on the prize, which is that cannabis is an important plant substance that can change lives and bring prosperity and help solve our world problems. And so, yeah, it's just interesting. But I'm looking forward to meeting some of the new players. And did I hear you correctly? 1,300 exhibitors?
1,300 exhibiting companies, correct, and about 35,000 attendees.
Wow.
I say the same thing every time I look at it. I say the same thing. Wow.
Yeah. Gosh, how many expos have that many exhibitors? I mean, even like in home improvement and you, any industry.
Any industry, they're very few, for sure. There are rankings in the trade show industry, and we've been very fortunate to be among. There's we've the fastest 50 growing shows that they do by net square footage of exhibit space, number of exhibiting companies, and number of attendees. And we've been very, very fortunate to be in among those for several years now.
That is just absolutely phenomenal. I mean, wow is all I have to say.
Mhm.
Yeah, and when you first said it, I thought I must have misheard you, and then I'm just realizing because it just seems like it would be impossible to get that many exhibitors into a single space.
Well, this year we do have more space. It's hard to imagine. That is actually, we've been asked a lot why we moved from our mid-November timeframe to December. And it really comes down to once you're this large, the amount of space that you need. Unfortunately, you have to go a little bit more with the dates when they can provide it. So at the convention center, that's why we pushed to December. I've gotten good feedback. I've gotten, like, hey, why'd you push so late? But others have said, hey, it's really good. It's after the harvest. That works for us. It's great to close out the year with. So I'm interested to see, how that plays out.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think that December actually is a great time to do it from my perspective because there's not a lot else going on in the trade show arena
Yeah,
for cannabis.
right. Exactly.
So you're not counter programming or competing with other events, and people are not so back to back.
Mhm.
People who go and speak. So are you still looking for panelists and speakers?
Uh, so we're in the throes of wrapping up the agenda now. So my content team has been working very diligently on that. So we have the majority of the full agenda on our website right now, but it's being updated every single day. So hopefully that'll all be locked in here in the next couple weeks. But it's every day, if you check back, there's something new on there right now.
Yeah, and I'll have all of that information up on the website as well, so that people can actually go to it and look and check out, what's happening there. But so obviously, if your space is sold out, you don't need additional exhibitors, that's pretty remarkable, actually.
Unfortunately, not. I wish we could accommodate more, but but we don't have a single other foot of space right now.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's okay because people in the industry who don't have a booth, they'll still benefit from being able to go and mingle and meet everyone who is there, and of course, take part in the content that you're providing. Are there
Mhm.
other keynotes or just the one?
So that's our main keynote. We do have general sessions that are currently being confirmed now. So more to come on that. But the first opening day of the conference, which is December 11th, Wednesday, we open up the morning with several keynotes. And we also will have our annual year in review that Chris Walsh, our president and founding editor, does for the industry.
That'll be exciting. That's actually a really good thing too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he does his predictions for the year, which going into an election year, I think is going to be really important. And he also evaluates last year's predictions, which I think we all enjoy too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The state of the industry. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So tell me, is there anything else that you'd like our audiences to know? Anything you have a burning desire to tell people?
Yeah. The only thing that we haven't talked about that is timely because it was just announced today, we have our inaugural MJBiz Daily Awards, and the finalists for those awards were just announced, and they will be celebrated, and the winners will be announced on December 12th. We're having a large gala and awards show for the industry at the Cosmopolitan Hotel in Las Vegas.
Wow. So what are the categories?
Sure. So the categories we focused on this year are five main ones. We have the Regional Game Changer Award, the Community Impact Award, U.S. Market Leader, Hemp Game Changer, and then the Industry Impact Award. So we have about close to 60 finalists right now. And we'll be giving out those, I think 13 total awards.
That's fantastic.
There are just so many events happening during what we've now deemed MJBizCon week, which is we have a proclamation, the governor, that it is MJBizCon week.
Oh, you know what?
And
That's something else I wanted to ask you about. Tell me a little bit about that.
yeah, so we're very excited about this. We've been proclaimed MJBizCon Week by the Board of Clark County Commissioners in the city of Las Vegas. So that really honors MJBizCon's just overall rapid expanding attendance and just our impact beyond just the convention center walls. And so as such, we have different events going on throughout Las Vegas throughout the week that expands, it's more than just MJBizCon at the convention center. So as we were talking about earlier, our